CBS News on the Hour, presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. With few Republican votes to spare, President Trump is making his list for the Supreme Court and checking it twice before announcing his choice to replace retiring Justice Anthony Kennedy.
The president is expected to meet in the coming days with prospective picks for the High Court ahead of an announcement he says he'll make a week from today. As Democrats call for a confirmation vote to wait until Americans weigh in the midterms, Maine Republican Senator Susan Collins tells CNN the pick won't get her vote if he or she signals a willingness to rule against abortion rights.
I would not support a nominee who demonstrated hostility to Roe v. Wade.
Collins is one of 51 Republicans in the Senate. If Democrats stick together in opposition, Mr. Trump's pick can't afford to lose more than 2 GOP votes. Stephen Portnoy, CBS News, Washington.
The hot, humid weather is making people wilt from Chicago to New York and south to North Carolina.
This is a little extreme, but I'll take it over snow any day.
Excessive heat warnings are posted again from the Midwest to the Mid-Atlantic. Dr. Butch Humbert.
Start to feel a little nauseous, kind of a little bit weak and almost dizzy, and those are really the warning signs that, it's time to get out of the heat.
Mexico's next president will be a left-wing populist named Andrés Manuel López Obrador. CBS's Adrienne Bard.
In his victory speech, Mexico's president-elect extended an olive branch to the Trump administration, promising to seek friendly relations. But he also said U.S.-Mexican ties should be based on mutual respect.
President Trump was among the first to congratulate López Obrador. Police say there's no evidence of a hate crime in the stabbing attack at a children's birthday party in Boise, Idaho. Police Chief William Bone says the apartment complex is home to many refugees.
Our victims are some of the newest members of our community. They're victims from their past homes who have fled violence from Syria, Iraq, and Ethiopia. 9
people were stabbed, many of them children. Police say the suspect had been told to leave the complex Friday. King James saying so long to Cleveland. Hello, L.A.
He is the NBA's biggest star.
LeBron into the lane.
Now LeBron James has a new home. He is leaving the Cleveland Cavaliers to join the Los Angeles Lakers, and Laker fans are ecstatic.
I've always wanted to live in the same city as my favorite player.
James, who was a free agent, is 33 years old, not young by NBA standards, but he is still a dominant player. Steve Futterman, CBS News, Los Angeles.
S&P futures are down 13, Dow futures off 135. This is CBS News.
You have enough things to worry about every day. Insurance shouldn't be one of them. You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Let's talk about some premium trios like 3-piece suits and 3D movies. But those who choose premium at the pump choose Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline for triple action engine protection against gunk, corrosion, and wear for optimal engine performance. And now through September 2nd, Fuel Reward members can save up to 10 cents a gallon after every fill-up with Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline. Rewards valid on future fill after minimum 5-gallon purchase. Members with silver status save up to 8 cents a gallon at participating Shell stations only. Limit 20 gallons. See fuelrewards.com/nitro for details.
The Mitsubishi Motors Summer Season Pass sales event. That's 0% financing for 72 months and no payments for 90 days on select models. Take the all-new 2018 Eclipse Cross with its striking design and advanced technology. Start a road trip with up to 7 passengers in the 2018 Outlander. Or be adventure-capable and energy-efficient with the all-new 2018 Outlander PHEV. Hurry into your local Mitsubishi Motors dealer. Exciting offers end July 5th. Special financing and option of deferred payment available through Ally Financial, subject to approved credit and insurance. Price, terms, and vehicle availability may vary. May not combine with factory cash rebates. See your participating dealer for details. Offer valid from June 1st through July 5th, 2018.
Lots of sleepy drivers will be hitting the roads this July 4th holiday.
This is to mimic extreme drowsiness.
23 pounds of extra weight plus glasses to simulate nodding off, mimicking an experience that most drivers have had. Fighting sleepiness. GM safety engineer Maureen Short says it is a form of impairment.
You have a delayed reaction time, and that reaction time is going to be critical when you're driving.
Short says engaging your brain can temporarily ward off drowsiness, but nothing replaces a good night's sleep. Jeff Gilbert for CBS News, Detroit.
Her nickname was the Nazi Princess. Gudrun Berwitz, daughter of Nazi mastermind Heinrich Himmler, has died near Munich. Berwitz accompanied her father to the Dachau concentration camp when she was 12 and wrote about pear trees, prisoners' artwork, and a bountiful meal there. She later denied the existence of the Holocaust. Gudrun Himmler Berwitz was 88. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Hey guys, Ken here from the hit podcast Today's Growth. Who would win a 3-mile bicycle race, an 11-year-old girl or last year's winner of the Tour de France? It all depends on the bicycle. It depends on their vehicle. Both on a 10-speed and the pro racer is going to win every time. But put the racer on a tricycle and the 11-year-old wins every time. You see, it's not the driver, it's the vehicle. When it comes to generating revenue, it's exactly the same. If you have a job or a small business, you are riding a tricycle. You can only go so fast. If you need to make up lost ground, it's not going to happen on a tricycle. No matter how fast you pedal, it's simply not going to win the race. Why do many people with no schooling and no advanced degree often become very wealthy? Simple. They choose to only ride 10 speeds. When it comes to helping people create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss when it comes to putting people on a 10-speed. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
Summer's officially here and the temperatures are up, but so are the CD rates on the Summer CD Special at the People's Bank. Going on now through June 30th, 2018, you can lock in a 24-month certificate of deposit with just a $500 minimum opening at the smoking hot summer rate of 2.32 annual percentage yield. Summer ends fast, and so is this limited time offer, so stop in at 605C Happy Valley Road at the People's Bank, working for you. Valid June 1st to June 30th, 2018. Substantial penalty for early withdrawal. Not valid with any other promotional rate. CD offer. No special add-on rates applied. Limited time offer. Rate subject to change. New deposits only. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Want to stay in the know on what's going on with your Glasgow EPB? Just follow us on Twitter at Glasgow EPB or like us on Facebook at Glasgow Electric Plant Board and stay informed about new products, services, and money-saving tips. With a smartphone, you will also have access to constantly updated information during outages. For 50 years, we have been the vital service you depend on daily for your electric, cable, and internet needs, and we hope to provide you even more information and benefits through Facebook and Twitter. Join us today. We are your Glasgow EPB, bringing you the future faster.
You know you can depend on WCLU for local news on the air, online, on demand at WCLUradio.com.
Good morning, everybody. 7 minutes after 6 o'clock and 75 degrees. A very warm start to this Monday, the second day of July. Ray Stajic in the saddle at the Weather Channel says we're going to be warm for a wee bit more.
An abbreviated work week for most of us, and weather-wise, we'll see typical showers, thunderstorms scattered around over the next few days, probably for the week. From approaching and getting pretty close, too, we may see some days where we get a little bit better coverage than others. Showers, thunderstorms will be able to produce some heavy downpours in some spots, so even if there's only a couple of storms out there, some of us may actually end up with some heavier rainfall. So roll through this Monday morning, a few clouds around with sunshine, and as we get into the afternoon, a few showers, thunderstorms. Low 90s. Overnight tonight, decreasing clouds after shower thunderstorm threat early, a warm 72. Tomorrow, partial clouds with sunshine, isolated showers and thunderstorms. That means hit and miss, 91. And a chance of showers and thunderstorms on the 4th of July. But there's some indications that those storms may actually happen in the first part of the day, with highs getting hotter into the mid-90s. Thunderstorms Thursday, Friday, scattered around, low 90s Thursday, and backing it off into the middle 80s on Friday. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, the Weather Channel on WCLU, your home for local.
Well, the rain gauge is nil this morning. No precip in the past 24 hours. The barometer has risen a little bit to 30.02. Humidity at a sticky 94%. And the winds out of the southeast at a couple of miles an hour. 75 degrees. Live in the newsroom, round one of local news, and news director Angela Briggs. Good morning, Angela.
Good morning, Henry. Miss Jefferson County, Katie Bouchard, was named Miss Kentucky. The Lexington Herald later reports the 22-year-old Owensboro resident was crowned Saturday night at the Singletary Center for the Arts in Lexington. It was Bouchard's third time competing in the pageant. She's studying social work at Western Kentucky University. Miss Lexington Alex Frank was named first runner-up, and Miss Bowling Green Caroline Ford was named second runner-up. And police in Kentucky say 2 people have been arrested on criminal charges after their young daughter was found with infected cigarette burns on her body. News outlets say that 26-year-old Thomas Lee Talon and 26-year-old Jessica Mae Sams, both of Corbin, were arrested Friday night. The Laurel County Sheriff's Office says in a news release, social service workers had taken the 13-month-old girl from an apartment about 9 miles south of London. The statement says the child was transferred to UK Chandler Hospital for treatment. Talon and Sams remained held Sunday at the Laurel County Detention Center in London. Jail records did not indicate whether or not the two have an attorney. And let's check in with Ernie Myers, the Executive Vice President of the Glasgow-Barron County Chamber of Commerce.
Okay, everyone, just a reminder from the Concert on the Square Committee, coming up this coming Tuesday, that will be the 3rd of July, the annual Concert on the Square will take place. It'll be on the East Public Square right there on the bank of the courthouse yard. We invite everyone to come up, bring a lawn chair or a blanket, come up expecting to have a great time and listen to the music of the Louisville Orchestra. That will be 7:30 in the evening on Tuesday. Now, around 6 o'clock, between 5:30 and 6 o'clock, our food vendors will set up. We'll have food vendors including Fine Arts Bistro, Bon Air Deli, the Papa John's Pizza, and we'll have popcorn from Ralphie's. Should be a taste which will satisfy everyone, and of course the restaurants on the square will be open as well. So come up, make an evening of it, have a spread out and have your own picnic right there and enjoy the music of the Louisville Orchestra. Concert on the Square Tuesday, July the 3rd, 7:30 in the evening. So that's what's going on with our community. Let's have a big night on the 3rd.
New toll rates for the 3 toll bridges connecting Louisville and southern Indiana began this weekend. The new rates went into effect yesterday. The 2.5% increase is the first rate increase for RiverLink, the tolling system for the Ohio River Bridges project. Toll rates increase annually by 2.5% unless the rate of inflation, as measured by the CPI, is higher. Now, the new toll rate for a passenger vehicle with a prepaid account and transponder is $2.05 per crossing. The current toll rate is $2. It's 6:12 a.m. on this Monday morning, 75 degrees.
TJ Sampson, providing TLC, Total Local Care, 24/7. My husband and I were both admitted to TJ Sampson. They were so good to us, and we will always go back to TJ, your local health care provider. Total Local Care, 24/7.
Why the name Fire Pit Spirits? Because your beverage of choice is meant to be enjoyed with good friends, celebrating life, happiness, or just the end of a hard week of work. And, as always, it's meant to be consumed responsibly. So, whatever you're celebrating, gather round your fire pit, because good times are made with the ones you choose to keep in your circle. Fire Pit Spirits. Best selection, best service, best friends.
The university scientists have long hypothesized, where does the magic man get his magic? The phenomenon that is the magic man is considered one of the great wonders of science. Truth be told, there is no science greater than magic. And that's why the mystery remains.
Hi, I'm Eddie Bruner, and yes, technically I am the magic man, but there's no magic to it. It's honesty, knowledge, and paying the best prices I can pay.
Involves risks.
In more local news, according to AAA, 46.9 million people will travel 50 miles or more over the July 4th holiday. And keep in mind that law enforcement rangers at Mammoth Cave National Park said they'll set up sobriety checkpoints, more commonly referred to as roadblocks, in the national park not only during this week but all summer. Their message is clear: drive sober or get pulled over. Now, the campaign means a zero tolerance for drunk driving. Over the 4th of July and coming weeks, Mammoth Cave's law enforcement rangers will be out in full force, cracking down on drunk drivers. Expect to see law enforcement rangers at these roadblocks throughout the summer along the Mammoth Cave Parkway, Green River Ferry Road, Brownsville Road, and also on roving traffic patrols. The consequences of drunk driving are serious, added Chief Peppers. Not only could you put your life and the lives of others at risk, but a DUI arrest means a lot of freedom and money, including going to jail, losing your license, and paying steep financial expenses. A DUI arrest in Mammoth Cave National Park is a federal offense, punishable by up to 6 months in prison and a $5,000 fine. Pinnacle Foods is voluntarily recalling a limited quantity of Wishbone House Italian salad dressing, 15-ounce bottles. with the health and safety of our consumers, they say, as their top priority. The recall was initiated after learning from a customer that a limited number of bottles were mislabeled. The product contains milk and egg known allergens not declared on the bottle. People who have an allergy or severe sensitivity to milk or eggs may run the risk of serious or life-threatening allergic reactions if they consume this product. No illnesses have been reported to this date, but the company is taking the action, they say, as part of its commitment to the health and safety of their customers. The recalled items can be identified by a best if used by date printed on the neck wrapper. Products best used by January 13th or 19th could be in the potential recall. And don't forget, Friends of Barren River Lake Park and Dunlap Family RV are inviting you out to Barren River Lake State Park for fireworks that will start at dusk. Music will be broadcast in sync with the fireworks on 87.9 FM. The T. Martell Band will begin playing from 5:30. They'll wrap up around 8:30, and Big Joe's DJ service will be providing music by the tennis courts at the state park, beginning right after the live band. With the announcement of U.S. Supreme Court Justice Anthony Kennedy's retirement, some women's groups predict urgent times ahead for the future of reproductive rights. And there are specific concerns about the future of Roe v. Wade, as President Donald Trump has promised to appoint nominees to the court who would overturn the law legalizing abortion. President and CEO of the National Women's Law Center, Fatima Goss-Gravens, says Kennedy was among the justices who have upheld the principles in Roe v. Wade.
In recent years, Justice Kennedy was the key vote to say that Roe versus Wade remains the law of the land, and to reject all of those efforts to make sure that women do not have access to abortion.
Justice Neil Gorsuch, the first Trump appointee, was among the majority of justices who this week ruled that so-called crisis pregnancy centers run by anti-abortion groups don't have to post information about the availability of abortion services. And some Democratic senators want Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell to postpone confirmation hearings until after the midterms. But Ezra Levin with the Democratic organization Indivisible contends the GOP is intent on pushing an anti-choice agenda. Levin says McConnell already stole a seat from the Supreme Court in 2016 by blocking President Barack Obama's nominee.
In all 50 states in this country,
last year, he changed the rules for appointing Supreme Court justices down to 51 votes to confirm. Now, Mitch McConnell, this president, and the broader Republican Party is planning to break that rule for their own benefit, to jam through a nominee months before an election.
And president of NARAL, Pro-Choice America, Elise Hogue, says lawsuits are already moving through the courts that could essentially overturn Roe v. Wade, although she contends that it isn't what most people want.
in all 50 states in this country, the majority of Americans actually do not want to punish women, believe in legal access to abortion, know what's at stake, and are ready to get out and fight this. It is true in red states, it is true in blue states.
The Supreme Court could potentially hear cases that could determine how far into a pregnancy an abortion would be legal and whether states can exclude Medicaid patients from Planned Parenthood services. With WCLU Local News, I'm Angela Briggs at 6:18 a.m., 75 degrees.
Glasgow Prescription Center is the culmination of my husband's professional career. When he took over GPC, he didn't want to be just good. He'd already done that. He wanted to be great. And I think his patients would agree that he's done just that. Could he get by with a smaller staff? Sure. The gift shop, the flower shop, delivery people, a brand new facility, none of those things are required to have a pharmacy, but that's why it's not just a good pharmacy, it's a great one. I'm really excited to see what Robert is going to do next because I know he's going to put his heart into it.
Senator Tammy Duckworth says Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell will do whatever it takes to ensure a conservative majority on the Supreme Court.
We're talking about someone who, on the Supreme Court, could end Roe v. Wade, could help to overturn much of the legislation that protects not just a woman's right to choose, but health care.
On CNN's State of the Union, the Illinois Democrat expressed concern over the possibility of a Supreme Court pick before November, saying Trump's pick may have to vote on a case against the president himself. Senator Rand Paul's legal team is appealing the sentence given to Rene Boucher for the November 2017 assault. United States Special Attorney Bradley Shepard filed the motion in federal court Friday. Boucher was sentenced to 30 days in prison, despite agreeing to a plea deal that could have landed him behind bars for 21 months. Governor Matt Bevin's office says they are readjusting their Medicaid program. Kentucky's Medicaid work program was scheduled to begin Sunday, but a judge halted the plan last week. Friday, the governor's office said they want to work with federal Medicaid managers to see what they can change about Kentucky Health to make it fit the judge's order. And as the temperatures rise, safety officials want to remind hikers to be prepared before hitting those trails. Lisa Johnson with Powell County Search and Rescue tells WKYT hikers should plan their trip ahead of time.
When you do 3 miles in the woods, that's maybe 6 miles in the city. You're on flat land, you're not going uphill, you're not climbing.
Johnson says the Powell County Search and Rescue team has responded to 3 heat-related issues with hikers this summer and adds that even a simple injury could put you in harm during this extreme heat.
You hurt yourself, it's going to be heat-related because you're sitting in that heat and you can't move. So you do have to remember that. And I always say, take a walking stick.
Before hiking, avoid caffeine or alcohol as they can deplete key nutrients your body needs. I'm Jaleesa Chapman.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
Fun summer vibes at the Kentucky State Fair, August 16th through the 26th. Hear all your favorite tunes at the Texas Roadhouse Concert Series in the new Bluegrass Village. 11 nights, 26 bands, all free. And that's just the beginning. The Kentucky State Fair has thrilling rides, mouth-watering food, the World's Championship Horse Show, and much more. For tickets and info, visit kystatefair.org today. The Kentucky State Fair, presented by Rallies.
Bring back those summer vibes. Visit the Speed Art Museum's new exhibition, Picasso to Pollock. Opening June 16th, explores 72 rare masterworks from the early 20th century, when artists shattered norms in reaction to an ever-changing world. Come see a show where art meets history and competing artists were looked upon as superheroes on exclusive loan from the Eskenazi Museum of Art at Indiana University. Get your tickets now at speedmuseum.org.
South Central Kentucky Monuments in Glasgow wants you to know that if you've recently lost a loved one or if you're thinking about a pre-need monument, they're here to make the process as stress-free as possible. With plenty of examples and a multitude of custom options, South Central Kentucky Monuments has the ability to offer you exactly what you want or help steer you in the right direction based on your preferences. Let my friends David, Jerry, and Adam Jesse provide the service and craftsmanship you deserve. To learn more, visit southcentralkymonuments.com.
Local news time from WCLU is 6:22. We have a temperature reading of 75 degrees. It appears that it's going to be a warm day today. And as we approach the 4th of July, things are going to continue to be warm. And maybe by the end of the week, close to Friday, looks like Ray Stajic says we could have some cooler weather. In area funeral announcements this hour, Michael Lewis Taylor, age 50, of Glasgow, died Friday at Monroe County Medical Center. He was the son of Patricia Bishop and Herbert Taylor. He is survived by his wife Kimberly Taylor, 6 children, Michael Lewis Taylor Jr. of Missouri, Timothy Blake Taylor of Bowling Green, Jacob Chase Taylor of Glasgow, Jenna Shaylin Rogers of Glasgow, Nathaniel Dwayne Rogers of Glasgow, and Hunter Ray Rogers of Glasgow, 2 brothers, Tony Taylor and Wayne Houchins, 1 sister, Michelle Houchins, and several nieces and nephews. Funeral services for Michael Lewis Taylor will be at 1 o'clock on Tuesday at the Hatcher and Sadler Funeral Home. Burials to be in the Glasgow Municipal Cemetery. Visitation begins today at 12 noon at Hatcher and Sadler Funeral Home. Funeral services for Noah Sanford Eldon Hensley II of Hardyville, age 53, will be at 1 o'clock today at the First United Methodist Church of Munfordville. Burial will follow in the Horse Cave Municipal Cemetery. Visitation will be from 10 until time for service at the church today. The Wynn Funeral Home is in charge of those arrangements. Funeral services for Pearl Hensley Willis, age 83, of Auburn, will be at 11 o'clock this morning at the Hardy & Son Funeral Home's Bowling Green Chapel. Burial will be in the Smiths Grove Cemetery. Visitation after 9 a.m. until time for service today at the funeral home. Funeral services for Nelda Bernice Prather, age 89, of Munfordville, will be at 11 o'clock Tuesday morning and the chapel of the Brooks Funeral Home, with interment to be in the Cub Run Cemetery. Visitation from 10 until 8 today, and after 9 o'clock Tuesday at the Brooks Funeral Home. Funeral services for Beulah Nadine Steenbergen, age 85, of Glasgow, will be today at 2 o'clock at the A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home. Burial will be in the Glasgow Municipal Cemetery. Funeral services for Robert Bedford Basket, age 80, of Summer Shade, will be this afternoon at 1 o'clock at the Yoakley Trivell Funeral Home. Burial will follow in the Monroe County Memorial Lawn. Obituary information is available 24 hours a day, free online at WCLUradio.com. No login is necessary.
Who will be the future face of Pedigo Lessenberry? Through expert analysis, we've confirmed their potential. With intense training, we've prepared them for any occurrence. We've taken their strengths and made them stronger. Now it's time to see what they're made of. Presenting the future face of ISU Pedigo Lessenberry Insurance.
Hello, I'm Jared Pursley. And I'm Daniel Bird. And we're more than prepared to serve you here at ISU Pedigo Lessenberry Insurance, growing with a proud community since 1902.
Lessenberry Do-It Center is Glasgow's only locally owned hardware store, and that means a lot to me. Lessenberry's has been in business for over 100 years. I walk in the store, they know who I am, and I get the help that I need. For me, Lessenberry's is the easiest place for me to shop, simply because it's a local family-owned business, and I feel comfortable when I'm there. And I'm glad there's still a place like that in Glasgow I can go to.
Hi, I'm Fred Parrish here at Parrish Carpet in Glasgow, Kentucky. My parents started this business over 50 years ago, so we know flooring here at Parrish Carpet. We have a large showroom and a big selection in stock. We do custom binding and we do free estimates. We've served a lot of people in the 50+ years, and we'd like to thank each and every one of you. So if you have a flooring need, come see us at Parrish Carpet.
Work week for most of us, and weather-wise, we'll see typical showers, thunderstorms scattered around over the next few days, probably for the week. From approaching and getting pretty close too, we may see some days where we get a little bit better coverage than others. Showers, thunderstorms will be able to produce some heavy downpours in some spots, so even if there's only a couple of storms out there, some of us may actually end up with some heavier rainfall. So roll through this Monday morning, a few clouds around with sunshine, and as we get into the afternoon, a few showers, thunderstorms. Low 90s. Overnight tonight, decreasing clouds after shower thunderstorm threat early, a warm 72. Tomorrow, partial clouds with sunshine, isolated showers and thunderstorms. That means hit and miss, 91. And a chance of showers and thunderstorms on the 4th of July. But there's some indications that those storms may actually happen in the first part of the day, with highs getting hotter into the mid-90s. Thunderstorms Thursday, Friday, scattered around, low 90s Thursday, and backing it off into the middle 80s on Friday. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, the Weather Channel on WCLU, your home for local.
Sounds promising, Ray. A hot 4th of July and maybe cooling up a little bit. 75 degrees already this morning. So look at the constant coverage and studio radar screen. Just a little blip on the radar to the northeast of Madisonville, Kentucky. Another little light shower activity over close to Pikeville, Kentucky. And as far as anything else going on, it's pretty quiet here in the state of Kentucky from the standpoint of rainfall. But as Ray says, hit or miss, that is the potential over the next 24 to 48 hours. As far as current conditions go this morning, the rain gauge is empty. The barometer's at 30.02. Winds out of the southeast at a couple of miles an hour. 94% humidity. 75 degrees at WCLU. This weather update brought to you by your friends at Bluegrass Cellular.
Why the name Fire Pit Spirits? Because your beverage of choice is meant to be enjoyed with good friends, celebrating life, happiness, or just the end of a hard week of work. And, as always, it's meant to be consumed responsibly. So, whatever you're celebrating, gather around your fire pit, because good times are made with the ones you choose to keep in your circle. Fire Pit Spirits. Best selection, best service, best friends.
The university scientists have long hypothesized, where does the magic man get his magic? The phenomenon that is the magic man is considered one of the great wonders of science. Truth be told, there is no science greater than magic. And that's why the mystery remains.
Hi, I'm Eddie Bruner, and yes, technically I am the magic man, but there's no magic to it. It's honesty, knowledge, and paying the best prices I can pay.
Glasgow Prescription Center is the culmination of my husband's professional career. When he took over GPC, he didn't want to be just good, he'd already done that. He wanted to be great. And I think his patients would agree that he's done just that. Could he get by with a smaller staff? Sure. The gift shop, the flower shop, delivery people, a brand new facility, none of those things are required to have a pharmacy, but that's why it's not just a good pharmacy, it's a great one. I'm really excited to see what Robert is going to do next because I
Right, 75 degrees, 631 WCLU this morning. We are rolling here on this second day of July. Yes, we've before you get out of whack, turn the page on the calendar because it will mess with you. Yes, we are into July, and we do want you to know about the Glasgow City Hall closed this coming Wednesday, and along with the street and sanitation departments. Now, everybody gets confused about this, but here it is. Wednesday's garbage picked up on Thursday, July the 5th. Glasgow landfill closed all day on the 4th. No bus service on the 4th. Should be easy enough to remember that. While we're talking about the 4th, the fireworks at Bear River State Park, a tradition indeed. The T. Martell Band is going to be playing down there live on the beach from 5:30 until 8:30, and then Big Joe's DJ service playing at the tennis courts from 6 until 9. Food and drink vendors on site. Beach parking will open at 2 p.m. The cost to park on the beach is $10, but you're right there close to the action. And, of course, the always spectacular fireworks put on by the Friends of Barren River State Park. Yes, it's that time. It's Wednesday this week, the 4th day of July. But let's deal with second day of July birthdays.
When was the last time you got your Ralphie on? What's getting your Ralphie on, you ask? When you're winning prizes and lighting up the score in the arcade, you're getting your Ralphie on. When you're dancing under the lights on roller skates, you've turned on your inner Ralphies. When you bring your coworkers to bowl in the business league, your office staff has clocked in on Ralphie's time. If you suffer from symptoms such as lack of fun, feeling bored, if you get frequent urges to act like it's your birthday, or if you're just not smiling enough, you need to go to Ralphie's. That's Ralphie's Fun Center in Glasgow. A great place for any party, event, field trip, or church group. Get your Ralphie on.
Hey, and you heard Ernie talk about a minute ago, Ralphie's is going to be one of the vendors providing popcorn for the concert on the square tomorrow night. So if you ever wondered how good Ralphie's popcorn is, it's good. But you can find out as a part of the concert on the square tomorrow night. All right, let's get the birthdays over here going. And I need to wake up some roosters here in honor of some special honorees here. I've got a 60 gong over here. Rear back and smack the 60 gong for Jeff Hogan. Happy birthday, Jeff, number 60. Let me rear back and smack the 40 gong. That's the big 40 for Chad Pettigo. Let me jump over here and tell you about a set of twins. We've got Shelley Barron and Sherry Perry, twin sisters, 44 today. Congratulations. Miss Siobhan Martin is celebrating. Brittany Martin with a birthday. It is Carolyn Matthews. It's Ruby Hagen's birthday. Vivian Garrett. Happy birthday to you, Vivian. We've got one anniversary thus far already this morning. And it is the anniversary of Willie and Peggy Adwell. Happy, my goodness, 56th wedding anniversary for Willie and Peggy Adwell today. 651-9149, 800-956-1023. Online it's WCLUradio.com. Birthdays and anniversaries. We're on the air to serve you today. And we're going to jump into the archives here in just a moment, too.
Hack Whitty, Marita Whitty Lyle, David.
Will be the future face of Pedigo Lessenberry. Through expert analysis, we've confirmed their potential. With intense training, we've prepared them for any occurrence. We've taken their strengths and made them stronger. Now it's time to see what they're made of. Presenting the future face of ISU Pedigo Lessenberry Insurance.
Hello, I'm Jared Pursley. And I'm Daniel Bird. And we're more than prepared to serve you here at ISU Pedigo Lessenberry Insurance.
All right, 75 degrees here at WCLU. It is 6:35. We are just about to head down memory lane after a very busy weekend around here. So many wonderful things going on. So many wonderful things coming up this week, and looking forward to that. We're going to be sharing all of the information to point you in the right direction here on WCLU. So won't you please go with us? Well, you know, we turn back the hands of time and we turn the page on the calendar that goes back through the hands of time, courtesy of the incredible intelligence of our archivists. We're talking about Gail Berry. We're talking about Mr. Ray Green. We're talking about a staff of folks who are working hard every day to keep history at the forefront of things around here. And I'm going to tell you a little bit later on this week. I don't want to spoil too much, but we've got we have the lineup for the Harvest of History. They have released who's going to be portrayed at this year's Harvest of History, and it's going to be spectacular. I'll just tell you that. But for now, let's get into the archives, sponsored by Joseph A. Wade, Industrial Hardware Services. What an operation that place is. Whether you need hoses, or you need repairs, or you need work done, or you need somebody to look at something and say, how can I fix this? They can tell you how. It's Joseph A. Wade.
One of the realities of old man winter is things need repairing. But when spring comes, don't be in a rush to get your agricultural or industrial equipment back up and running. Call Joseph A. Wade Industrial Hardware Services today and get those repairs done before spring. And even if you have a smaller operation or you just need some odds and ends for your home repairs, Joseph A. Wade is here to meet those needs as well. Joseph A. Wade is located on Industrial Drive in Glasgow, family owned and operated since 1985, a Wright Tool distributor.
All right, you ready to go down and see where we've been?
Yes, I'm sorry, I was making a sign. How's this, Aaron? Because evidently Aaron's focus this morning is my camera angle.
Yeah. Well, you know, you're a little to the left.
Henry, I told you the other day we've
got to the left, to the left, to the left.
Oh my Lord! Please do that one more time.
To the left, to the left, to the left.
Everything you own in Boston. The whole fact that you just did Beyonce before 7 a.m.
Yeah.
Aaron, this is tomorrow's promo.
Okay, here's what I want to tell you about. Of all the wonderful things that happened this weekend, wonderful things, I also got to tell you that I checked out the opening ceremonies out at the Special Olympics in Seattle, Washington.
How were they?
Where our own Daniel Williams was there as a part of that ceremony, as far as being in attendance, and I was totally blown away with what a big-time operation this was. Mm-hmm. And you know, James Cheeley was telling us about it. But when they put, well, let's say for example, Charlie Puth did a heck of a job. Those Olympians were so blown away by Charlie Puth and blown away by you know, all of the Olympiads running in with the torch.
For sure.
It was quite the ceremony. And I really enjoyed seeing that and seeing all the happy people there.
Definitely. I've also got one more thing to share.
All right.
I have finally found someone who understands my jokes completely.
Okay.
You ready for this?
Well, I don't know.
So the inventor of throat lodgings has died.
Okay, who's that?
Well, they've come out with an announcement. There will be no coffin at his funeral.
Okay.
Alan Shirley, thank you so much for that joke. That is, oh my gosh, like I'm going to tell that to everybody.
So Alan Shirley understands your humor.
I'm going to totally take credit for it, but yeah, I'm going to tell it to
Okay,
everybody.
all right.
Dude, that is the best thing ever.
All right. Well,
It's like the elephant and the rhino joke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So y'all can just sort of have a quip of the day.
Amy Kilman said next time Henry finish the rest of the song.
Yeah, well, I'll have to get my words out here. I have to get a cheat sheet.
Tell you what, we'll let you run through a dance routine a couple times too.
Well,
You don't have to wear like a Beyonce wig or anything.
it's that's slow enough I could do it.
That'd be great.
1918 is where we start each and every day, 100 years ago, and this is a fresh group of research data done by the archivists. We just get to share it. It tells us about our history. This was the day in 1918 the Barron County Teachers Institute is in daily session at the Liberty College Chapel. Professor M.A. Leeper of Bowling Green, the Dean of the Department of Languages for the Western State Normal School, is the instructor. An excellent program has been arranged for the patriotic celebration Thursday afternoon in the circuit courtroom. The Honorable Lawrence Finn of Franklin, the chairman of the Kentucky Railroad Commission, is going to be the principal speaker. Now that's pretty interesting. They wanted somebody high up, but as high up as they could get was the railroad commissioner.
There you go.
Which is very important. In 1918, that was an important position. And anyway, they had that program there in honor of the birth of our country, 1918. Let's move to 1928. I've read this story a couple of times, but I'm going to go slow so I don't mess it up.
Okay.
Lem Barrett, who it will be remembered killed Lurid Smith near Huffman School on April the 28th.
Okay.
Was arraigned in Metcalf Circuit Court Wednesday of last week. He pleaded guilty, and without testimony or argument, the case was submitted to the jury. The jury deliberated only 5 minutes and returned a verdict fixing Barrett's punishment as life in the penitentiary.
Oh, wow.
The men had an understanding over a fence. I'm sorry, a misunderstanding over a fence.
Yeah, they didn't understand.
That's right. I don't understand it. The men had a misunderstanding over a fence when Barrett appeared to shoot Smith 3 times, killing him.
Not just once, twice.
3 times,
It was
that's right.
that serious.
It is alleged that Barrett used a single-barrel shotgun and loaded and shot Smith twice after he had fallen. Now, that is a misunderstanding.
Tell you right now, what's crazy, he's like, I did it. The jury goes out and they come back.
It's not an automatic weapon there. He had to load it 3 times.
I'm saying.
Anyway.
It's amazing how riled up people will get about, property lines.
Yeah. Lem Barrett.
I mean, what they should have done is said one side of the fence is one of them and the other side's the other.
We've had, in the history of this place, we've had several Ask the Lawyers programs. Yes. Property line calls in for property line questions far and away outweighs any other type of question that gets asked.
Can remember years and years ago, my grandmother's farm.
Yeah.
Now I don't think there's anything legally done, but I know she used to swear that the people that owned some property adjoining to her had moved the fence post to make her back field smaller and their backyard bigger.
That is a dispute, isn't it?
I mean,
I don't know if that's of shotgun level or not, but
I don't think she would have shot anybody over. I don't think she would have shot anybody over anything.
1938. Mr. T.C. Fullington, the manager of the J.C. Penney store, took an unusual approach in promoting an extensive blanket sale. The stunt, which he staged at his store on Wednesday, attracted an unusual interest from his patrons and passers-by. He had a $5 blanket frozen in a 300-pound block of ice, and he offered the blanket to the person who guessed the time or nearest the time that the ice would melt so you could touch the blanket.
What?
It required 8 hours and 45 minutes for the ice to melt. Mr. Ewell Glass guessed the exact time.
How did he know the exact time?
Several hundred. We had to wait and see. Several hundred guesses were made. It was an interesting event. It attracted hundreds to the store during the day.
I'm gonna tell you right now, you can better believe there is nothing going on if you were sitting around watching some ice melt.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, that was pretty good promotion, though. This he had a lot of blankets he needed to get rid of. And so he froze one and melted it. What time's it gonna thaw?
Oh my gosh.
So it was the dog days in 1938 too. We didn't have much going on.
Oh goodness.
All right. 1948.
Well, like I've heard
that was right down here on the corner,
Well, I've heard the phrase like watching paint dry.
Yeah.
That's even worse, I think.
Yeah, well, I don't know. One of the things is if the weather was anything like this back in 1938, it wouldn't have taken that long. It wouldn't have taken 8 hours, I don't think.
I mean, what depends on how big the block was.
Yeah. 1948, here we go. Glasgow has been a veritable beehive as final preparations and decorations go into place for the homecoming celebration Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Now, that's a big deal. Homecoming, 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
The spacious show windows around the square literally bulge with thrilling and valuable antiques which have been brought from their customary places in honor of the many Barron County homes. In dollars, the values of these precious heirlooms cannot be measured. We would admonish our readers that they will miss one of the truly great events of their life if they let anything beyond emergencies keep them away from this great show and reunion, which has been arranged for by the chairman, Mr. Brent Dickinson, and his assistants to mark the 150th anniversary of the founding of Barron County.
There you go.
That was a big deal.
I mean, it sounds like
1948, the 150th anniversary of Barron County. Let's all put our antiques in the window and show some of the past.
Yeah, I thought it was cool watching that ice melt. What?
Yeah, I mean, that's right. That was only 10 years before that one. It probably didn't make it into the homecoming show.
They were all still cooling off.
Yeah, that was 1948. Kind of a neat way to display our past, our heritage, showing the importance of the square, which is why we have things like concerts on the square.
Right.
All right, 1958, we have this story, another major construction project underway, the new Gulf service station at the corner of Broadway and Water Streets, opposite the Brown's Ice Cream. McMurtry Construction is in charge. The new super station will contain the latest innovations in service station planning and will be open in a few weeks. So, a new service station coming to town.
There you go, right across from what now?
Corner of Broadway and Water Streets.
But it was across from the ice cream parlor?
Across from Brown's Ice Cream, which was an ice cream manufacturing place.
So you couldn't buy ice cream there?
Yeah, I think you can. I don't know. Factory, I don't know.
Could you just go up and knock on the door?
1958, I missed it.
Is it like the cheese factory? You can buy cheese.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see here. I'm trying to picture in my head Broadway and Water Streets. Well, that would be right over here, just right outside of the tunnel.
Well, I'm still distracted by you doing Beyonce. It's hard for me to move past that.
Sorry.
No, it was marvelous. Thank you.
1968, 31 local boys attended the Audubon Council new Boy Scout camp located near Russellville. That is a big deal in 1968. And scouting was on fire around here back in 1968. If 31 local boys went down to that new headquarters in Russellville, the Audubon Council Boy Scout camp. 1978, we have this award being honored. Mr. and Mrs. J.R. Williams of Park City have been chosen as the outstanding cooperative farmers in the 31st annual Goodyear Conservation Award program. What about that? Mr. and Ms. Williams, they were working hard to conserve. So much so that they won the Goodyear Conservation Award. 1978.
Environmentalists before they were environmentalists.
That's right. It's important.
Seriously.
1988, this was the day that the 32nd annual Metcalfe County Fair began. They began with a horse and pony celebration, a carnival, and a Heart of the Bluegrass show.
Is that like a dog and pony show?
No, I think it's much more complicated than that. And sophisticated, I guess is what I'm saying.
Sophisticated.
And, James Bailey is going to come at 7 o'clock on the air and remember the weekend and talk about Saturday and wrap up the fair in the 7 o'clock hour today on WCLU. Always look forward to that. 1998, this was a big deal for local technical schools around here, as technical schools were now becoming a part of the college system for ease of transferring from one state institution to another.
Well,
That
making
was-
things easy.
That's right. And, well, the thing is that think about times were changing. And there were certainly, not everybody needs a college degree. Everybody needs training of some sort to take it to the next level.
There you go.
And there was a great deal of recognition of that changing fact by jumping ahead here 20 years ago to make the technical schools a part of the college system. And this was a really sad story here 10 years ago, 2008. This was the day that Austin Tracy volunteer firefighter Lloyd Mabry died after a hit-and-run accident last
wow.
week.
Terrible. Sad news on a Monday.
Some things just aren't pleasant to remember, and it certainly was a difficult time when such things happen around here.
Exactly. Let's go back to you and Beyonce. It's Monday.
Yeah, I think you know.
I'll
work on the album version.
How about a verse from Put a Ring on It?
That's right. That's right. What is it? If you like it, you want to put a ring on it, or if you own it, you want to put a ring on it?
Don't act like you don't know the words to every one of our songs, Henry.
All right. All right. The Archives brought to you by Joseph A. Wade Industrial Hardware Services. Mighty fine folks to have on your side, whether you are working on the farm, whether you are working on some projects at home, whether you need some help getting some equipment operating right, or just trying to maybe you find something and wonder what it is.
There you go.
They can handle it at Joseph A. Wade Industrial Hardware Services.
Let me ask you something.
Growing with a proud community since 1902.
Lesenberry Do-It Center is Glasgow's only locally owned hardware store, and that means a lot to me. Lesenberry's has been in business for over 100 years. I walk in the store, they know who I am, and I get the help that I need. For me, Lesenberry's is the easiest place for me to shop, simply because it's a local family-owned business, and I feel comfortable when I'm there. And I'm glad there's still a place like that in Glasgow I can go to.
Hi, I'm Fred Parrish here at Parrish Carpet in Glasgow, Kentucky. My parents started this business over 50 years ago, so we know flooring here at Parrish Carpet. We have a large showroom and a big selection in stock. We do custom binding and we do free estimates. We've served a lot of people in the 50-plus years, and we'd like to thank each and every one of you. So if you have a flooring need, come see us at Parrish Carpet.
Growth begins with an idea. At the People's Bank, that idea is to give you the banking service you deserve. We carry out that idea in everything we do. In fact, it's become our motto, working for you. As that idea continues to grow, let us work for you at our new location, 1300 West Main Street, opening this summer. Let us be the place where your ideas begin, where you get the banking you deserve. Come grow with us. The People's Bank, working for you.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Check out the deals at Gilliard Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram.
Save big on summer adventure during our Jeep Celebration event. How about saving up to $5,800 off the factory MSRP on a new 2018 Jeep Grand Cherokee? Or choose up to $4,000 off the new 2018 Jeep Renegade. Now you can save up to $3,750 off on the newly redesigned 2019 Jeep Cherokee.
If car shopping makes you nervous, come to the home of legendary service.
By South Central Bank.
South Central Bank is a locally owned bank that cares about you and our community too.
My name is Roger Mercer. My wife and I, Terry, own Southern Kentucky Collision here in Glasgow. It's a collision repair center. We've been dealing with South Central Bank for probably 23, 24 years. They've always been good to us. They're a hometown bank. South Central Bank's been a really big part of our business as far as the growth. They've been there for us when we needed to borrow money to grow, and we appreciate that very much from South Central Bank.
South Central Bank, small enough to know you, big enough to help. Member FDIC.
Few clouds around with sunshine, and as we get into the afternoon, a few showers, thunderstorms. Low 90s. Overnight tonight, decreasing clouds after shower thunderstorm threat early, a warm 72. Tomorrow, partial clouds with sunshine, isolated showers and thunderstorms. That means hit and miss, 91. And a chance of showers and thunderstorms on the 4th of July in the first part of the day, with highs getting hotter into the mid-90s. I'm meteorologist Ray Stidgick, the Weather Channel on WCLU, your home for local.
Quiet day on the radar screen there, Ray. Nothing much happening. A little blip over there around Madisonville. That's about all we see. Looking at the, well, let's see here. As we look up into southern Indiana, there's a few things going on, but we'll let them worry about that. We're just going to start off today already. What we got to worry about is already 75 degrees. So I think it's going upward from that direction. We'll wait and see. Current conditions, the rain gauge empty in the past 24 hours, actually for pretty much the whole weekend. Barometers at 30.02, southeast winds a couple of miles an hour, 94% humidity, 655 and 75 degrees.
If you're thinking about remodeling your home, keep in mind that when
TJ Sampson, providing TLC, Total Local Care, 24/7. My husband and I were both admitted to TJ Sampson. They were so good to us, and we will always go back to TJ, your local health care provider. Total Local Care, 24/7.
Why the name Fire Pit Spirits? Because your beverage of choice is meant to be enjoyed with good friends, celebrating life, happiness, or just the end of a hard week of work. And, as always, it's meant to be consumed responsibly. So, whatever you're celebrating, gather round your fire pit, because good times are made with the ones you choose to keep in your circle. Fire Pit Spirits. Best selection, best service, best friends.
The university scientists have long hypothesized, where does the magic man get his magic? The phenomenon that is the magic man is considered one of the great wonders of science. Truth be told, there is no science greater than magic. And that's why the mystery remains.
Hi, I'm Eddie Bruner, and yes, technically I am the magic man, but there's no magic to it. It's honesty, knowledge, and paying the best prices I can pay.
Glasgow Prescription Center is the culmination of my husband's professional career. When he took over GPC, he didn't want to be just good. He'd already done that. He wanted to be great. And I think his patients would agree that he's done just that. Could he get by with a smaller staff? Sure. The gift shop, the flower shop, delivery people, a brand new facility, none of those things are required to have a pharmacy, but that's why it's not just a good pharmacy, it's a great one. I'm really excited to see what Robert is going to do next because I know he's going to put his heart into it.
How wonderful this past weekend has been. Well, another spectacular weekend is coming up that we're involved in. Stuffing of the bus.
This Saturday will be one to remember at Glasgow Southgate Houchins Market. Why? Because this Saturday, it's Stuff the Bus. Now, we've all heard about the big Stuff the Bus event that goes on annually in Bowling Green. But on Saturday, July the 7th, Stuff the Bus is coming to Glasgow and teaming up with Houchins IGA to raise as much money and supplies as possible for local students here in Glasgow and Barron County. On Saturday from 9 a.m. until noon, any items on the Stuff the Bus checklist purchased at Glasgow Southgate Houchins and donated at the Stuff the Bus table set up right outside will be matched by Houchins Industries. Go online to WCLU's Facebook or onto Stuff the Bus's website, stuffthebusky.com, to see the full checklist and find out how to help even more. And don't forget to come out and support local students by shopping at Southgate Houchins in Glasgow, right off of S.L. Roger Wells Boulevard in Glasgow, and donating to Stuff the Bus on Saturday, July the 7th.
All right, going to be a lot of fun indeed. A lot of stuffing of the bus, and you know, our community has a history of getting behind such things, and we're going to be out there broadcasting live on Saturday and getting everybody pumped up about stuffing the bus. Let's go out to Long John Silver's and enjoy a real deal and then we'll come right back and play trivia.
Welcome to Long John Silver's, home of our new $5 Real Deal box. Dive into our wild-caught 100% Alaskan whitefish, natural-cut fries, hush puppies, dessert, and a drink.
Long John Silver's is putting burgers on notice with our hand-battered and fried to perfection Alaskan whitefish sandwich, fries, Cinepuffs, and a drink for just $5.
It's our $5 Real Deal box. Because at Long John Silver's, you deserve more.
The $5 Real Meal Deal is the real deal. Long John's, Glasgow, and Cave City.
Ready to play trivia? I'll ask the question. You provide the answer. Long John Silver's A&W All-American Foods provides the prize. And so here we're going to get on over here with the question for today. I want you to tell me. Well, let me ask the question this way. Put that question up there, Aaron, because I'm trying to decide the best way to ask it. Whose birthplace and childhood home is named Ivy Green? Whose birthplace and childhood home is named Ivy Green? Born and raised at Ivy Green. Hello, trivia.
Is Helen Keller?
That's correct. Who is it speaking?
Daniel Irwin.
Daniel, you got to win on the first day of the month, don't you?
Try to get in there first of the month.
That's why you are competitive, I guess. So what do you know about Ivy Green?
I just remember looking it up in high school and remember hearing a little bit about it.
Yeah.
She was born in Alabama.
That's right. Tuscumbia, Alabama, which is a beautiful place, and for a lot of different reasons. But one of the neatest reasons is that's the childhood home and the birthplace of one Helen Keller. I like that. That sounds like a pleasant place, doesn't it? I'm going to relax out at Ivy Green today. And, but anyway, they have tours, and, it's maintained as a historical, it's on the historical register, and folks in Alabama are proud of their heritage in so many different ways. But out in Tuscumbia, Alabama, the birthplace of Helen Keller, and the home she was born in and the home she was raised in, Ivy Green. Daniel, you are one sharp cookie, son. And, you see, here you are. You're bragging on the fact you can remember high school. And learned a lot, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Can he do a Beyonce impression?
I don't know. He probably, let him work on it, maybe. All right, Daniel. Have a good day, sir.
You too, sir.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Daniel Irwin. That's right. He jumped all over that one. Ivy Green, the childhood home and birthplace of Helen Keller. Daniel Irwin is on fire today, winning trivia, and we'll come up with something tomorrow. And you can jump in here and be on fire, too, thanks to Long John's A&W.
CBS News Update. Stepping outside takes your breath away from the Midwest to the Mid-Atlantic. In Chicago,
just felt like you were sitting in a sauna.
Excessive heat warnings are posted again today, with temperatures in many states approaching the triple digits. Meteorologist Patrick Burke has advice from the National Weather Service.
The heat wave is still at its most intense along the East Coast through Monday, and so people really need to take a lot of precaution, drink a lot of water, try to avoid being outdoors in the hottest part of the day. Don't do strenuous activities outdoors if they can be avoided, or kind of move those things to the early morning and late evening if you can.
WCBS Radio's Craig Allen says it'll be hot in the New York City area right through the holiday week.
Wednesday the 4th, still near 90. Thursday, still near 90. Friday, 85 to 90.
Today's humidity is expected to nudge the heat index up in places like New York, Boston, Chicago, and St. Louis to make it feel as hot as 105. CBS News Update. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
This is WCLU Glasgow, WCLU FM Unfordville, W253BN Glasgow. Services of Royce Radio Incorporated.
For many years, residents of Glasgow got used to their friendly postman, Rollin Dixon.
I delivered all over town. I was the swing man. I delivered 5 different routes.
A kind word and a smile were his trademark. But there's a little-known fact about his smile.
My teeth have always been bad.
Rollin wanted his teeth fixed. He researched dental implants, and he got Dr. Jim Thurman to get the job done.
I got my first one in 2014. I have 5.
5 implants?
When I got one tooth fixed and got my cap on it and everything, then it wouldn't be 2 months till another one would go out. I'd break off.
What really was Rollins' incentive?
It's hard to eat when you can't chew food. I love steak if it's a good tender steak. But now if it's a tough steak, it makes my teeth sore. I do better with these.
Dr. Jim Thurman and his staff explained the entire process and made it enjoyable.
I always look forward to going out there and joking around with them. We always had a big time whenever I went. And of course, he was right in the middle of it usually.
And that's right where he loves to be. Call 651-5939 and get started. Dr. Jim Thurman and Dr. Amy Cassidy.
All right, it is 7:04 WCLU, waking up with a temperature reading of 75 degrees. And with much anticipation, we've been wanting to kind of hear the wrap-up of the Barron County Fair with the public relations guru who's in charge of making sure we know all about it. James Bailey, I got to tell you, when I picked up the phone, James, I said, "How are you?" He said, "Well, I'm trying to recuperate." So that means that we had an eventful weekend, and you're always right in the middle of it, and we want to hear about it, James Bailey.
Well, it was a good week. It was a good week.
Mm-hmm.
I go back to Friday. We had a bull hall. Miss Karen Wood was in charge of it this week.
Okay.
And, this time it was good. It was down a little bit in the participation, probably because of when the garden comes in. It's a little bit early for that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was good, and they did a good job on that.
I'm sure Karen does a good job of whatever she tries to do.
Oh yeah, sure does. And of course, on Friday night, our KTPA tractor pull was a huge success. Wade Jackson and his group does an excellent job with that, and it was tremendous. We had around 2,700 people that paid to come into the fair.
I understand you guys had that track in ship shape.
They did. Those guys, they worked all day, and they had that thing, and it was right, just like it needs to be. And I tell you, it's a great event. We had one of the biggest crowds we ever had that night.
That's great.
Big crowd. We had parked. All our parking facility was parked, plus we have a field at least across the road. It was filled up with cars and trucks.
My goodness.
Yeah, and that was great. And of course, we had a little concert in between, but the big thing was the pool. And on Saturday now, we had a little pet show. Participation wasn't as good as we liked, but it was. There's a lot of quality there.
Yeah.
And Saturday night we had one of those garden mini hot rod pools, and we had a lot of participation in that. More than usual.
Well.
And of course, now we didn't have near the attendance on the Saturday night as we did. We only had probably about 900 or something like that on Saturday night. There's a lot going on Saturday night, and we had the big deal on Friday night. But it was good anyway. We had a lot of good things going on. We had our talent contest. We were down in participation. We only had 2 that entered that. Also we had karaoke, and I think that was good. But there wasn't. But we were down in the participation in that too by 5, I think. But we had something a little different this time. We never had this before. We had this professional wrestling.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Well, I'll tell you what. Now they put on a good show. Yeah, they sure do. We had down there in the barn. They put a big ring down there, and we set chairs up there, and it just looked real professional. And I don't know. There was a pretty good crowd in there watching it. It was, and I don't know. I'd say we'd probably do that again. That turned out pretty good. Really did.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad y'all are willing to try new things too. You know.
Yes, that's right. And of course, they had their drawing for the raffle. I don't remember. They didn't tell me who won.
Yeah.
But they did that.
That was kind of neat where they sold tickets all week long for that too, James.
Oh yeah, yeah, and you know we're looking forward to our cattle shows and horse shows. On the cattle shows on our beef cattle show will be on the 12th, and our dairy show will be on the 13th, and the horse show on the 14th.
Well,
so that's coming up.
That'll be some big draws too, James.
Oh yeah. But as far as the fair overall. Henry, it was one of our better ones. It was a good one. It was a really good fair. The only damn thing was the storms on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty well made up for that.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody worked so hard. And I'm not going to try to go over thanking everybody what they did, because I'll miss somebody. Somebody be mad at me.
We don't want that, James.
No. And I'll just say that we thank the people that worked and the people that contributed in any way, and there's a lot of them did. They contributed equipment. That people bought ads. They did different things, and people have been so nice, and we appreciate it so much. And we hope that they were happy with the fair, and hope we can continue it in the future and continue to try to improve year to year.
Well, you got a good crew, and of course, hats off to Temple Hill Lions Club. Has many years ago took on the bull and said, we're going to put on this fair, and that certainly made a difference in the history and what's happened since then. And with folks like Mr. Myatt and you and others who are kind of trying to make sure that it stays on track, and all of the hard-working Lions Club members and the folks who love the fair.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
William Myatt does a tremendous job. He works hard all year promoting this thing. It's not just one season. You have to stay on top of everything.
Yeah. Well,
and we appreciate WCLU for this publicity, and all the other radio stations and newspapers and all in the area that have helped us out, and we appreciate that.
Well, we got to all work together, and we all got audiences, and we can all bring somebody to the fair, and it's for a real good cause.
And that's a good community, and we need to keep it together.
James, I really appreciate your punctuality. You know, of course, I don't know whether I've ever told this before, but you think people know that you and I are cousins?
I don't know. We're proud of it.
We are for sure.
We're proud.
What are we, second cousins?
Well, my daddy and your grandmother were brothers and sisters.
Yeah, so we'll have to get somebody that's a family tree person to tell us how close we are.
I'd say second.
Yeah, but you know, we're similar, aren't we, Jay?
Your mama and I were first cousins.
Yeah, see, that's good that we understand that, and we kind of think along the same lines, don't we, James?
There you go.
Well, thanks a lot, and we'll be talking to you between now and then, too, okay?
Okay.
All right, James. See ya. Bye-bye. James Bailey, Barron County Fair Public Relations Director. It's a wrap on the Barron County Fair, and, you know, each day is an adventure because we get a little storminess in there, and we'll wind up having to have a bad night or two, but yet they make up for it. Some of the things this weekend. It's the Barron County Fair, and thanks to a whole lot of people, it continues to grow and to be enjoyable.
I'm Jared Pursley. And I'm Daniel Bird. As recent history tells us, disasters can happen. It's impossible to prepare for everything, but it is possible to prepare for what happens next. And that's where we come in. At ISU Pettigo-Lessenberry Insurance Agency, we can provide you with many options as an independent agency. And it's our job to make sure you know about all the what-ifs so that your policy has you prepared for what happens next. So just ask us. We'd be honored that you did. Just give us a call at 651-8837. We're ISU Pettigo-Lessenberry Insurance Agency, growing with a proud community since 1902.
It's spring sale time at Bailey Gibson, and Dad's got the prices you're looking for. New incentives are being offered on many GMCs and Buicks on the lot. We hope you're looking for a new car or truck, because we're looking for good trade-ins. Bring your used car or truck to Bailey Gibson and we'll offer you a better deal than you can get anywhere around. Stop by and check out our spring savings event now underway at Bailey Gibson in Glasgow. Lola, what do you say?
We're having a springtime sale at Bailey Gibson. Give my dandy a call on his flip phone for a great deal.
There are exciting things happening at Jackson Health and Wellness Clinic. This is nurse practitioner Brittany Jackson, and yes, the moving and unpacking are complete. Everything is set up, and we are ready to start taking care of you and your family at our new location, 1214B North Race Street. We are so excited for you to come see our new facility on the corner of North Race and Professional Park, directly across from TJ Sampson Hospital. We have bigger exam rooms, more parking, and even some new faces. Samantha and I want to introduce you to our new office staff, Kim Fogel, who will be the voice you hear on the phone when you call and who will assist you with scheduling appointments and requesting refills. Even though our location has changed, what has not changed is our commitment to personal, individualized care for our patients. Our motto is hometown healing, and that is one thing that will never change or be compromised. Our phone number is still the same, 270-629-6722, and our door is always open for new patients. Jackson Health and Wellness Clinic. We are looking forward to seeing you at our new location, 1214B North Race Street in Glasgow. Call today to set up your appointment.
Angela Briggs here with WCLU, and we are now highlighting several women in this community and around this community who have done big things. And one of these women is Captain Jennifer Arbogast with Glasgow Police. How are you doing this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. Now, how long have you been in law enforcement?
This is my 16th year.
16th year, and you are a captain in the Glasgow Police Department?
Yes.
How many female captains have been in the Glasgow Police Department?
I am it.
So you've worked your way up. What did you start out doing?
A patrolman.
And you worked your way up?
I worked my way up through the ranks.
And now you are captain?
That is correct.
And when it comes, why law enforcement? Why? I mean, you could do things that are probably a whole lot less stressful and less hectic.
That is correct.
Right.
Chief Pickett, actually, he knew I always wanted to be a law enforcement officer, so he actually got me on his team, you can say.
Really?
So, yeah.
Did you ever think about, how it may impact you being a woman going into law enforcement? Or did you just always want to go into it?
That's what I always wanted to do. I will tell you that when I first applied, I had actually applied or had went to be an animal control officer. And when I first walked in, he looked at me and was like, "That is not what you want to do." And I know better than this. And he asked me, he said, if I had an opening as an officer, would you take it? And he said, "Don't answer that. You go home, talk to your husband about it, and call me tomorrow." And I said, "Okay." So I did. And I said, "Well, absolutely." And so that's how it all started.
Just a conversation.
Just a conversation.
And here you are all these years later, and when it comes to breaking glass ceilings, as people say, you just keep on breaking them, because now you have you just got back from the FBI National Academy.
That is correct.
Which is no joke.
No, it is not.
Right. And how many people were in your class, this most recent class?
232.
And you were one of how many women?
There was 19 of us, 19 females.
Well, and then overall, I think the chief said that this academy, less than 1% of all law enforcement officers have gone through it.
Correct.
So it's pretty exclusive.
It is. It's like 48, in my class there was 48 states of us, 232.
They called you Kentucky, right?
They did. That was the nickname. They all called me Kentucky. There was 48 states, 25 international students, and 19 of us females.
And was it 10 weeks of lounging around, reading books?
No, that would have been nice, but no. It was classwork, physical, and it led up, there were 7 different challenges, which led up to the Yellow Brick Road.
And the Yellow Brick Road
was over 6 miles at the end, 3 miles of it being the Marine Corps obstacle course. Which is hard.
Did they give you any special treatment since you're a woman? Did they say,
No, it is not. It is not like that.
Right. it was basically you were going through all this just like anybody else would.
Correct.
How tough was it?
It is no joke. It's hard.
Right, but you came through it. And
Right.
you were actually, one thing I thought that was neat that was brought out was you were one of the few people there that was actually chosen to sit and talk with kids who had lost a parent that was in law enforcement.
Yes.
How tough was that?
It was hard. It was hard. And like I said, I won't go into details with that because that is very emotional and it's really hard.
So, people think, a lot of people saying they go into law enforcement because they always want to help. But now you gave me that twofold when we were talking earlier. You said you wanted to help, but you also want to prevent that problem from happening again.
Right.
Tell me a little bit about that.
A lot of people when they first go into this job, especially young officers, and I was guilty as many, when you first go into this job, a lot of people's like, they're very gun-ho. It's like,
how many tickets can I write? Yeah,
right. How many tickets can I write? How many can I take to jail? Blah, blah. That's not what this is all about.
Right.
You need to focus on what has caused this problem. What has happened to this person? How can we help this person? How can we make a difference in this person's life?
Is every situation typical? I mean, can you?
Yeah.
Is every traffic stop the same? I mean, or do you have to be ready basically for whatever?
You do. You need to be ready for whatever is thrown your way. And every situation is different. The one thing I can say that the National Academy helped is in a way that they did help me learn, and is they helped you look at different challenges that can be thrown your way, which was really interesting.
Right.
They helped you look at a lot of crises that can be thrown your way. We looked at not only crisis of mass destruction that can come your way, but even in we all as officers, a lot of us take CIT training, and we learned a lot about that. We learned a lot about PTSD.
And that's critical incident training, the CIT,
Yes.
right?
Yes. And we learned a lot of how to look at our officers, when it comes to PTSD. And so they teach you a lot, and leadership, management, and community policing.
Now, is that the same as citizen's arrest? I was trying to.
No. I know. You're all about this citizen's arrest, aren't you? But no, it's much different.
Right.
So there is a lot to learn, and I was very fortunate to get to go, and it was a big honor, and I'm very grateful for it.
How big of a deal are relationships, not just within the department, but between the department and the community?
It is a big deal, and I think it's something that we need to focus on, and we need to work on, and I look forward in getting out and working in the community.
Real quick, tell me about the Yellow Brick Road. I was told that you had a death in the family and had to miss one of your challenges.
I did.
The terrible challenge, the one that everybody was like, ugh.
I did have to miss one of the third challenges, and it was like a 17-minute challenge, but I won't tell you what this challenge is called. Right. It's called one thing on a shirt, but it's called another thing at the academy. Of course, anything you miss, you have to make up. You have to first ask to be excused from anything that you miss. Certain things you can miss, and certain things you can't. But I did. I had a crisis in my family, and I had to ask to come home, and then I had to go back and make up anything that I missed. And when I got back, I had to not only make up a challenge on that Wednesday, but then I had to make up a second challenge. And I had told one of the PT instructors, I said, I need to make up this challenge on this Wednesday. And I said, some of them, a couple of them said they want to make it up with me, and they said, nobody ever is asked to make up a challenge with somebody. Right. And so I was fully prepared to make this challenge up by myself. And they was like, okay, so I start off to the field house, And one of the FBI agents was like, "Come on, Kentucky, let's go," and I'm running over to the field house, and I go running in, and lo and behold, there's all 232 of them, or 31, not me, standing there, and they're clapping, and it was very heartwarming and very, it brought tears to my eyes, and they're ready, and they're all standing there like, "Come on, Kentucky, let's go." Did you actually think we was going to let you make this up by yourself? No way. And every one of them was there. I mean, that's how close that you are. I mean, we're family. You have lifelong friends forever.
And I think that speaks volumes about you, that they're all willing to do that for you. And I think that speaks volumes about of who you are as an individual and as a law enforcement officer. And if a little girl were to walk up to you and say, "Can I be anything when I want to grow up?"
Absolutely.
Anything.
If you put your heart and your soul, you can be anything you want to be. You sweat and tears, heart and soul, you can be anything you want to be. You just got to work at it.
One more time: community policing and citizens arrest, not the same thing.
Not the same thing.
All right. Angela Briggs here with Captain Jennifer Arbogast with Glasgow Police Department. This is your top.
Who will be the future face of Pettigo-Lessenberry? Through expert analysis, we've confirmed their potential. With intense training, we've prepared them for any occurrence. We've taken their strengths and made them stronger. Now it's time to see what they're made of. Presenting the future face of ISU Pettigo-Lessenberry Insurance.
Hello, I'm Jared Pursley.
And I'm Daniel Bird.
And we're more than prepared to serve you here at ISU Pettigo-Lessenberry Insurance.
Growing with a proud community since 1902.
Lessenberry Do-It Center is Glasgow's only locally owned hardware store, and that means a lot to me. Lessenberry's has been in business for over 100 years. I walk in the store, they know who I am, and I get the help that I need. For me, Lessenberry's is the easiest place for me to shop, simply because it's a local family-owned business, and I feel comfortable when I'm there. And I'm glad there's still a place like that in Glasgow I can go to.
Hi, I'm Fred Parrish here at Parrish Carpet in Glasgow, Kentucky. My parents started this business over 50 years ago, so we know flooring here at Parrish Carpet. We have a large showroom and a big selection in stock. We do custom binding and we do free estimates. We've served a lot of people in the 50+ years, and we'd like to thank each and every one of you. So if you have a flooring need, come see us at Parrish Carpet.
With WCLU Local News, I'm Angela Briggs. Miss Jefferson County Katie Bouchard has been named Miss Kentucky for 2018. The Lexington Herald Leader reports the 22-year-old Owensboro resident was crowned Saturday night at the Singletary Center for the Arts in Lexington. Now, it was Bouchard's third time competing in the pageant. She's studying social work at Western Kentucky University. Miss Lexington Alex Frank was named first runner-up, and Miss Bowling Green Caroline Ford came in second. Police in Kentucky say 2 people have been arrested on criminal abuse charges after their young daughter was found with infected cigarette burns on her body. News outlets say the 26-year-old Thomas Lee Talon, 26-year-old Jessica May Sams, both of Corbin, were arrested on Friday night. The Laurel County Sheriff's Office says in a news release, social service workers had taken the 13-month-old girl from an apartment about 9 miles south of London. The statement also says the child was transferred to UK Chandler Hospital for treatment. Talon and Sams remained held Sunday at the Laurel County Detention Center in London. Jail records did not indicate whether or not they have attorneys. According to AAA, 46.9 million people will travel 50 miles or more over the July 4th holiday. And keep in mind that law enforcement rangers at Mammoth Cave National Park said they'll set up sobriety checkpoints, more commonly referred to as roadblocks, in the national park not only during this week but all summer. Their message is clear: drive sober or get pulled over. Now, the campaign means a zero tolerance for drunk driving. Over the 4th of July and coming weeks, Mammoth Cave's law enforcement rangers will be out in full force, cracking down on drunk drivers. Expect to see law enforcement rangers at these roadblocks throughout the summer along the Mammoth Cave Parkway, Green River Ferry Road, Brownsville Road, and also on roving traffic patrols. The The consequences of drunk driving are serious, added Chief Peppers. Not only could you put your life and the lives of others at risk, but a DUI arrest means a lot of freedom and money, including going to jail, losing your license, and paying steep financial expenses. A DUI arrest in Mammoth Cave National Park is a federal offense, punishable by up to 6 months in prison and a $5,000 fine. Pinnacle Foods is voluntarily recalling a limited quantity of Wishbone House Italian salad dressing, 15-ounce bottles, with the health and safety of our consumers, they say, as their top priority. The recall was initiated after learning from a customer that a limited number of bottles were mislabeled. The product contains milk and egg known allergens not declared on the bottle. People who have an allergy or severe sensitivity to milk or eggs may run the risk of serious or life-threatening allergic reactions if they consume this product. No illnesses have been reported to this date, but the company is taking the action, they say, as part of its commitment to the health and safety of their customers. The recalled items can be identified by a best if used by date printed on the neck wrapper. Products best used by January 13th or 19th could be in the potential recall. With the announcement of U.S. Supreme Court Justice Anthony Kennedy's retirement, some women's groups predict urgent times ahead for the future of reproductive rights. And there are specific concerns about the future of Roe v. Wade, as President Donald Trump has promised to appoint nominees to the court who would overturn the law legalizing abortion. President and CEO of the National Women's Law Center, Fatima Goss-Gravens, says Kennedy was among the justices who have upheld the principles in Roe v. Wade.
In recent years, Justice Kennedy was the key vote to say that Roe versus Wade remains the law of the land, and to reject all of those efforts to make sure that women do not have access to abortion.
Justice Neil Gorsuch, the first Trump appointee, was among the majority of justices who this week ruled that so-called crisis pregnancy centers run by anti-abortion groups don't have to post information about the availability of abortion services. And some Democratic senators want Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell to postpone confirmation hearings until after the midterms. But Ezra Levin with the Democratic organization Indivisible contends the GOP is intent on pushing an anti-choice agenda. Levin says McConnell already stole a seat from the Supreme Court in 2016 by blocking President Barack Obama's nominee.
Last year, he changed the rules for appointing Supreme Court justices down to 51 votes to confirm. Now, Mitch McConnell, this president, and the broader Republican Party is planning to break that rule for their own benefit, to jam through a nominee months before an election.
And president of NARAL, Pro-Choice America, Elise Hogue, says lawsuits are already moving through the courts that could essentially overturn Roe v. Wade, although she contends that it isn't what most people want.
In all 50 states in this country, the majority of Americans actually do not want to punish women, believe in legal access to abortion, know what's at stake, and are ready to get out and fight this. It is true in red states, it is true in blue states.
The Supreme Court could potentially hear cases that could determine how far into a pregnancy an abortion would be legal and whether states can exclude Medicaid patients from Planned Parenthood services. With WCLU Local News, I'm Angela Briggs.
From the Kentucky News Network, I'm Jaleesa Chapman. Several services are a bit more expensive across Kentucky. The state's new sales tax went into effect Sunday. There is now a 6% charge on a number of services, including gym memberships and pet grooming. Lawmakers say the money will go towards public education. An Illinois senator says Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell will do whatever it takes to ensure a conservative majority on the Supreme Court.
Mitch McConnell is someone who's very cynical, and he'll do whatever he needs to do. I think he's demonstrated that.
On CNN State of the Union, Democratic Senator Tammy Duckworth said the voters should be able to have a voice in the matter by voting for elected leaders in this November's midterm elections. A federal judge has blocked a law mandating work requirements for Medicaid recipients.
The plan would have required able-bodied Kentuckians to work, volunteer, or train for a job as a condition of Medicaid coverage. Kentucky was the first state to get federal approval for the work rules. 3 other states followed, including Indiana, and a dozen others are awaiting approval from the Trump administration. Governor Bevin has threatened to eliminate the state's Medicaid expansion if the work requirements waiver was struck down in court. I'm Paul Miles.
The governor's office now says they want to work with federal Medicaid managers to see what they can change about the program to make it fit the judge's order. The man accused of injuring 9 people in an Idaho mass stabbing has ties to Kentucky. 30-year-old Timmy Kinner has an extensive criminal history and previously served prison time in Kentucky. Boise Police Chief Bill Bones says Kinner injured several people living in a Boise apartment complex that houses refugees.
2 4-year-olds, a 6-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 12-year-old, along with 3 adults.
There are no fatalities, but 4 of the victims are being treated for life-threatening injuries. I'm Jaleesa Chapman.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
Hey, Swamp Fox, this is Fat Cat. You got your ears on? Come back.
Yo, Fat Cat, I'm over here at exit 33 having a burger and fries. Why don't you join me? Swamp Cat, I'm about to pass exit 33 right now. Order some hot wings for me. Move out of the way, Grandma. The speed limit's 70.
Protect yourself and your passengers by learning how to share the road with smaller vehicles. The Ticketing Aggressive Cars and Trucks campaign is being enforced statewide, so pay attention. Don't be distracted. Brought to you by the Kentucky State Police Commercial Vehicle Enforcement Branch.
It's the summer travel season. To raise awareness of traffic laws and to encourage safe driving habits, state and local law enforcement are out in force during the Blue Lights Across the Bluegrass campaign. The goal is not to write tickets, but to save lives. Don't speed, don't drive impaired or distracted, and always wear your seatbelt. Obey the laws, or you will be cited. No exceptions, no excuses. Paid with federal funds through the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety.
Weather from the WCLU Weather Center. Brought to you by McDonald's.
Saving money on feeding your family at McDonald's has never been so easy. Getting everything in 30 seconds will be. Here's what we have. For $1, you can get a sausage burrito, McChicken sandwich, cheeseburger, or any size soft drink. For $2, you can get a sausage McGriddle, 2-piece buttermilk crispy tenders, bacon McDouble, or a small McCafe. And for $3, a sausage egg McMuffin, classic chicken sandwich, triple cheeseburger, and a Happy Meal. Just $3 at McDonald's. Prices and participation may vary. Excludes hot and iced coffee. So many great options, so little money. That's the $1, $2, and $3 menu at McDonald's.
An abbreviated work week for most of us, and weather-wise, we'll see typical showers, thunderstorms scattered around over the next few days, probably for the week. From approaching and getting pretty close, too, we may see some days where we get a little bit better coverage than others. Showers, thunderstorms will be able to produce some heavy downpours in some spots, so even if there's only a couple of storms out there, some of us may actually end up with some heavier rainfall. So roll through this Monday morning. Clouds around with sunshine, and as we get into the afternoon, a few showers, thunderstorms. Low 90s. Overnight tonight, decreasing clouds after shower thunderstorm threat early, a warm 72. Tomorrow, partial clouds with sunshine, isolated showers and thunderstorms. That means hit and miss, 91. And a chance of showers and thunderstorms on the 4th of July. But there's some indications that those storms may actually happen in the first part of the day, with highs getting hotter into the mid-90s. Thunderstorms Thursday, Friday, scattered around, low 90s Thursday, and backing it off into the middle 80s on Friday. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, the Weather Channel on WCLU, your home for local.
Thank you, Ray. 736, 78 degrees. A warm one out there today. We've recorded no precip in the past 24 hours. And it looks like the barometer is at 30.02. Southeast winds at a couple of miles an hour. And a 94% humidity. Weather brought to you this morning by the folks fixing your breakfast at McDonald's.
Growth begins with an idea. At the People's Bank, that idea is to give you the banking service you deserve. We carry out that idea in everything we do. In fact, it's become our motto, working for you. As that idea continues to grow, let us work for you at our new location, 1300 West Main Street, opening this summer. Let us be the place where your ideas begin, where you get the banking you deserve. Come grow with us. The People's Bank, working for you.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Check out the deals at Gilliard Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram.
Save big on summer adventure during our Jeep Celebration event. How about saving up to $5,800 off the factory MSRP on a new 2018 Jeep Grand Cherokee? Or choose up to $4,000 off the new 2018 Jeep Renegade. Now you can save up to $3,750 off on the newly redesigned 2019 Jeep Cherokee.
If car shopping makes you nervous, come to the home of legendary service.
That today we are patting on the back by special request Stephen Sloan. Now Stephen is a mighty good fella, and he needs a good pat on the back, and today is his birthday. And so actually his birthday was yesterday, but today we're patting him on the back. So if you happen to see Stephen Sloan around town anywhere today, be sure to pat him on the back and remind him that he is indeed good as gold from his friends here at WCLU. And a little taste of Texas. Going to start off the week with a winning menu for sure at Texas. And don't forget that we've got we have folks who nominate persons to be good as gold. Stephen Sloan was one of them, and it's nice to be thought of, and it's nice to be honored. And we'd like everybody to have the invitation to get online here at WCLUradio.com and submit nominations for good as gold. We do our best to work them out, just like we were able to take care of that for Stephen Sloan. He is good as gold.
Good morning, friends. At 2 Kings chapter 5, we can read the story of Naaman and his problem with leprosy. When Naaman went to the prophet Elisha for relief from his sickness, he left in a rage because Elisha had given him instructions to simply go and dip 7 times in the Jordan River in order to be cleansed. He left in refusal to obey this simple instruction because he thought it was too humiliating for such a great warrior as he to do such a thing. Naaman was full of pride and willfulness and at first refused to obey. His words were, "I thought, I expected, why should I do this way? Why shouldn't I do it my way?" The problem was that Naaman had eye trouble. Notice again, I thought, I expected. As long as Naaman had that attitude, he remained without relief. He was sick with leprosy. Only when he did what God had instructed was he healed. In the same way, with the sickness of sin, God has given us a divine prescription for the healing from sin within His Word, the Bible. We can either accept and obey His instructions and be forgiven, or we can reject them in disobedience because we want to do it another way. Listen to me now. It doesn't matter what you think, what you expect, what you feel, or which way you prefer. If you don't accept God's way, you will still be sick with your sin. Do you have eye trouble? This is Danny Wyatt for the Refuge Church of Christ.
The Empty Nest Inside Pharmacy
TJ Sampson, providing TLC, Total Local Care, 24/7. My husband and I were both admitted to TJ Sampson. They were so good to us, and we will always go back to TJ, your local health care provider. Total Local Care, 24/7.
Why the name Fire Pit Spirits? Because your beverage of choice is meant to be enjoyed with good friends, celebrating life, happiness, or just the end of a hard week of work. And, as always, it's meant to be consumed responsibly. So, whatever you're celebrating, gather around your fire pit, because good times are made with the ones you choose to keep in your circle. Fire Pit Spirits. Best selection, best service, best friends.
Okay, we're going to, I don't know what I did there, where the birthday club went. Happy birthday on the 2nd day of July to Levy McClellan. Ms. Maxine Sexton. Miss Maxine is 79 today. Very nice lady. Vivian Garrett is another nice lady having a birthday. It's also Ruby Hagen's birthday. Carolyn Matthews. We sounded the 40 gong for Chad Pettigo today. Brittany Martin is celebrating. Yvonne Martin. Twin sisters Sherry Perry and Shelley Barron. They are 44 today. And we sounded a big old gong for Jeff Hogan and his 60th birthday today. Anniversary for Willie and Peggy Adwell, number 56. 651-9149, 800-956-1023. Online, we are here at WCLUradio.com. Birthdays and anniversaries. We're at 742. Where is my little tidbit news? Thingamajig Bob. Where is it? Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is.
From the north, south, east, west, NEWS, here's the latest news.
Spinning the globe, looking around for tidbit news.
Spinning globe, is that why people act so dizzy?
Yeah, that's right. Sometimes they do. All right, let's see here what I have for you today.
Aaron?
Yeah.
I'm going to need you to look a little happier that it's Monday morning.
We already have our promo. I don't have to act excited or anything.
Aaron's like, I give up, whatever.
Hey, you know, Aaron is really involved in our Stuff the Bus promotion that's coming up this Saturday.
Yes, that is really a cool event that's going to be going on.
Well, see, what I think would be awesome is like if folks would get a hold of us here at the station and tell me, like, maybe they want Aaron to wear like a cat costume out there. Maybe they want him in like a princess tiara. I'm telling you, I think that would get a lot more people out there. I know it would definitely be a good time for me.
I don't think we need to draw any attention to ourselves.
See, Aaron, I'm so glad.
That's a good attitude.
See, we need to focus on the charity.
If only your vote mattered, Aaron. Dang.
Exactly.
All right. Let me tell you what I got here, okay?
All right.
I've got this story. Listen carefully. This is out of Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Malaysian authorities are investigating a marriage between an 11-year-old Thai girl and a 41-year-old Malaysian Muslim that has sparked public outrage and calls for child brides to be banned.
Yeah.
She's 11, he's 41. Rubber scrap dealer Che Abdul Karim Chail Abdul Hamid.
Oh, I say that 3 times fast.
I think probably Chuck is probably his nickname.
I'm sorry, I know what I'd call him.
Secretly married the girl as his third wife in Thailand.
Are you kidding me? That is super gross.
And the union became public after one of his wives lodged a complaint with the police.
Well, yeah.
That's always a danger.
Yes, my husband married an 11-year-old.
Muslims are under the minimum legal marriage age. Muslims who are under the minimum legal marriage age of 16 can wed with the consent of the Sharia court and their parents.
Well, that court and those parents need to all get themselves together. 11 years old and some 44-year-old.
Muslim men in Malaysia can marry 4 wives.
I'm going to tell you right now.
He's almost there.
Deputy Prime Minister. That's right. That's right. He's going to have to be careful on the next one.
Lord help us.
Is it half full or half empty?
She's 11. It ain't half nothing.
Deputy Prime Minister Wan Aziza Wan Ismail.
Oh, really?
I don't know what his nickname is.
I'm saying.
Wan has said the marriage was illegal because it was not approved by the Sharia court.
That Sharia court can stuff it.
That's right. That's right. She's 11. And he's 41.
And he is super grody.
And she's wife number 3.
Hooey.
And wife number 2 called in and complained.
And he's public enemy number 1.
It's weird when a senior dates a freshman in high school. I got a 41-year-old and an 11-year-old.
Now, see, I can understand
Spoken only like a high school kid could speak.
Well, because, boys mature much slower than girls. So, I mean, that kind of balances out. But now, if you are 44 and you're like, hey, there's an 11-year-old.
Hey, she's going into 3rd grade.
Yeah, that's that's really icky. But nonetheless, they're saying over there, wait a minute, you can't make fun of us. This is legal.
No, we can make fun of them. It might be legal, but we can certainly make fun of them.
So anyway, Mrs. Che Abdul Karim Che Abdul Hamid.
And his wife wasn't like, I'm going to cut out.
That's more letters than her name, than her age. And finally, this story, which is like 180 degrees different.
I mean,
oh no.
As Aaron's a big sports guy, so here we go. These days, it seems baseball is becoming even more of a hit and miss affair than ever. Get this, for the second time in 3 months, strikeouts exceeded hits in the major leagues.
Oh, wow. There you go.
What makes this extra whiffing more extraordinary is that this year is the first time that K's outnumbered Clouts. The Elias Sports Bureau says there were 6,776 strikeouts and 6,640 hits in June, and that leaves strikeouts ahead of hits for the season as a whole. And it's more than blip. Strikeouts have set a record for 10 straight years. So far this year, Major League Baseball is on track to break last year's record with the most strikeouts. Well, that's a simple answer to that. Better pitcher.
Yeah, I was about to say pitching's getting better than batting anymore.
But check this out. I'm going to go and say this, okay? If you're a baseball player, hitting the ball, should make your, top 5 list of priorities.
Yeah, that's right.
You practice that. Just like basketball players, should not miss a free throw.
Exactly. Big sports guy, and people can give explanations. There is pressure to free throws.
One excuse is as good as another. My big toe hurts. There's something going on. This child marriage over there and across the world, whatever they got to say.
That's
but
right.
I will say, hitting a baseball is one of the hardest things you can do in sports.
But if you're a professional,
hitting a live ball that's going.
Aaron, brain surgery is hard. Who does it? Brain surgery. Because they practice.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I mean, and that's the whole What does the doctor do for a living? He's in the practice of medicine.
I'm saying, what do baseball players do? Strike out.
That's right. And they show up for practice, though.
Just saying.
And let's see here. I had one more real quick little tidbit since we got just a split second right here. I sent it to myself about 10 o'clock last night. And I'm looking in Nellie's mailbox. I didn't send it to her. Hold on. Y'all give me a second right here.
I can talk about the fact that I have jammed my middle finger.
Yeah?
And it's really hurting. So I just want to give a disclaimer. If I see somebody today, like I'm holding one finger kind of odd.
Yeah?
I'm not trying to send any message. It just hurts and it swells.
I'll give a message about Stuff the Bus today.
Go ahead.
Okay, so we have over at your local Hougens Market all over here in Glasgow and Barron County, you can buy these little $1, they call them the mobile pinups, and it's like what's
like
a good
pinup
example?
girl?
What?
Like one of the pinup girls from the 50s?
Nah,
He's just a junior in high school.
I know. He's not following along.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'll be honest, but it's like
I'll explain it in detail later.
Okay. Like I can't. What's a good example? Was it butterflies from Maddie that you could buy the little paper butterfly for like $1?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same type of deal. You buy a little. It's a little cutout of the Stuff the Bus logo. You can buy for $1 at your local Hougens.
You sign your name on it, they hang it up.
Exactly, and all that money's going to Stuff the Bus. So you can help out by doing that all this week. That started this Saturday, and it's going all the way till this coming Saturday.
Yeah.
And so you can do that, and then we have, of course, the big event on Saturday. That
everybody needs to come out there and see us.
Oh, exactly. Yes.
We will certainly take suggestions on things we should make Aaron do this Saturday. Folks, come out. See what
Angela will be taking those suggestions.
Yes, I have exclusive rights over those suggestions and implementation. Just saying.
All right.
This last tidbit story here. This is really a public service. This could be a dumb criminal story, but I just feel bad for this guy. But I want to show you what can happen.
I already don't feel bad for him.
Authorities say a 48-year-old man raised a can of beer and chugged it after a sheriff's deputy stopped him on suspicion of drunk driving.
That's not going to be obvious.
Daryl Royal Rydell of Big Coppet Key, Florida, told Monroe County Sheriff's investigators, Monroe County, Florida investigators.
Hey, don't be calling us septic.
He was scared when he fled in his pickup truck as Deputy Anthony Lopez stepped out of his patrol car. Rydell drove for a short distance before stopping. You see, he's got 3 prior DUI convictions. The report says Rydell got out of his truck, beer can in his hand, and chugged it.
He was getting ready to go to jail for a while.
He knew.
He is in jail without bond.
See that he knew that was coming.
But that, it's an incentive to get it together because that's kind of like a low spot, I would think.
Yeah.
No, really, it's him saying, "I give up. I'm gonna drink this last week."
Yeah, that's right.
What else can y'all do? Add public intoxication to my
DUI?
DUI?
That's right. Is there a certain amount of? Anyway. That's what we have. We have lots of weird things on Tidbit News today, but that's a wrap. Okay?
All right.
Y'all have a good right. You always feel bad for the victim.
I do because I can just see him. He probably had Eye of the Tiger going on in his head. It was all playing in slow motion.
Yeah.
The deputy, put your hands up. And
didn't even know they were trying to stop him.
I mean, deep down he knew him.
78 degrees.
It was one of those moments. I was a proud dad, standing behind my son as he just pushed off on his first bicycle pedal, pulled out my cell phone, and what did I do? Dropped it. Yep, there it was. And I knew it was cracked the second I picked it up. I didn't worry, because I knew where to take it, and that's Gadget Patchers, located at 199 Rogers Wells Boulevard in Glasgow. Gadget Patchers is a cell phone and computer repair store where I take all of my gadgets when they're in need of repair, whether that's cell phone screen, the charging port, or maybe it won't even come on at all now. I have no doubt that Seth and all his talented staff at Gadget Patchers have the answers waiting for you. They can replace the entire screen, pretty much service a cell phone in any way imaginable. Time for an upgrade anyway? They've got newly refurbished phones and at great prices. Call Seth Arterburn down at Gadget Patchers at 270-228-0000 or stop in and get your repair quote on your device or bring it in and have them take a look at it, and you can shop around for a fully refurbished computer or laptop right in the store, as well as tablets and other phone accessories